Hey there, everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice. I hope everybody's well. Thanks for joining us in Game 6 of the 2015 World Series. This is Johnny Cueto against Jacob Degrom. It's at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. The Mets are up in this series 3-2. The Mets won a seesaw battle in Game 5 when they were down 6-3, and then came back, scored 8 runs in the bottom of the 8th, and they took that game. They lead the series 3-2. We're right about to get started. I'll go over the lineups in a minute. Just sending out a little information to some of the groups to join us live. And let's see who else we can send it to. We can send it to there. And I can send it to too many. I will send it to maybe one more. We'll send it there, and then we'll see what happens if we get anybody stopping by to check out the game. I've played a few games of Replay Baseball. That's the system that we're using. I use it a lot for my PC games, and I'm using it here for my Dice and Cards game. So it's really a blast. And I've gotten a little bit better at it, so it won't take me as long to do it. So let's get started. The lineup for the Mets is going to be Curtis Granderson in right field, followed by David Wright, the third baseman, batting second, the captain, if you will. And then it's Daniel Murphy at second base. In the third hole, Yoenis Cespedes in left field. He's played center field for a few games, doesn't really like center field very much. Lucas Duda is batting fifth, the first baseman. Batting sixth is Travis d'Arnaud, the catcher. Batting seventh is Michael Conforto, the rookie, at DH. Wilmer Flores, the shortstop, and Juan Lagares. That's one change we have to make. We have to pull out. There's a DH now that we're in Kauffman, so we're going to have to bring in Juan Lagares, who in 2014 was a Gold Glove center fielder. That's the wrong team. In 2014, he was a Gold Glove center fielder. And we're ready to roll. He'll be playing center field for the Mets. Now I was going to show you that I use the card sleeves, and I will be putting in some of these cards in the card sleeves just to protect them, since this I'm playing with these teams more than maybe some others. I haven't touched the other teams, by the way. I think the only other team I played is the Dodgers. And then Lagares is in there. He won't need a card. So let's quickly that's going to be all right. I didn't set this up. I wish I had. It would be a little bit faster. Plus, I have to pull. I don't need pitcher batting cards, so that's a good thing. So we can put those over there. And Lagares is there. He'll be batting ninth. The Mets will be leading us off against Johnny Cueto. So we'll do it that way. We'll put Cueto on the bottom. I read the batter card and then the pitcher card. And Jacob Degrom is going to go with, let's get, he's already covered with that. And let's see. Okay. And here it is. It's going to be Escobar leading it off for the Royals at shortstop. Escobar leading it off at shortstop. Batting second is Ben Zobrist, the second baseman. Lorenzo Cain in center field batting third. Batting cleanup is Eric Hosmer, the first baseman. Kendrys Morales batting fifth. So let's see if we can track down Kendrys. He will be in the fifth spot right behind. There he is. Mike Moustakas, third baseman. Batting sixth. Batting seventh is Salvador Perez. Batting eighth is Alex Gordon. Batting ninth is Alex Rios. These lineups pretty much have remained the same throughout the playoffs. So we're going to put that over here. We're going to put this to the side. These are the pitcher batting cards, which I will not need. This is Game 6. The Mets lead it 3-2. So the Kansas City Royals have their backs up against the wall in this game. Let's get started. Here goes. Here's the pitch from Johnny Cueto. He's a right-hander. He had a 3.45 ERA with 11 and 13 one-loss record. Curtis Granderson, left-handed batter, leads us off. That's going to be a 5-1. That's a 5 there. And then a 3 is going to be a 6. And that looks like it's going to be, then we have a 2 and a 6 on the 2. If the pitcher has a raised number besides column 5, roll 1 die. If the die is higher than the number, well, that's not going to be hard to do because it's only a 2. And it is. And if the die is higher than the number, it's scored as base on balls. All right. So it's a walk to Granderson. He's on at first. All right. Let's go Mets. David Wright is next. Say, whoa, that's a 1-2. And that's going to be a 1 and then a 4. 3. And Cueto blows one by. David Wright. Daniel Murphy. That's a 2-3, and that's a 16. A 16 and 3 is a 19. A 2-19, and that's a fly ball lifted to center field. Over is the center fielder, Lorenzo Cain. He makes the grab. Let's get a little action here, some background sound effects for the. Otherwise, it sounds like I'm playing from a cemetery. There goes.
Moving and packing.
And we got a little commercial before they give us what we want now. It's not like it was before. Now there's commercials all over YouTube. And I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's safe, remaining, following all the instructions of the scientists. Don't like that. I don't like that sound too much. This is the sound I like a lot better. There it is. All right. Okay, so it's Yoenis Cespedes now with 2 out and 1 on. Here's the pitch. It's a 1-4, and that's a 35, and a 3 is a 37. And that's a ground ball to the second baseman. Ben Zobrist, he's up with it over to first, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits. We go to the bottom of the first. Jacob Degrom against Alcides Escobar. Here's a pitch. That's a 6-4. It's going to be a 59. A 59 and a 4 is a 63, and that's going to be pulled down the line into the left field corner. After it is, who's out there for the Mets? That's Cespedes. And around first and into second base, the throw is not in time. Leadoff double for Alcides Escobar. And it's Ben Zobrist. Let's make sure everything is in view. That's a 2-5, and a 2-5 is going to be a 16. And then a 17, a 2-17, and that's a strikeout or a flyout with bases on. We run on third base, less than 2 outs. They sacrifice fly. It's a fly ball, center field. Lagares cruises over, makes the catch. Back to second goes Escobar. All right, so 1-4 against Lorenzo Cain. That's a 35. 35 is a 36, a 136, and that's grounded to the third baseman. Backhanded by Wright. Looks at the runner. Oh, no. And throws to first, but advancing is Escobar. So it looked like Wright hesitated there. Had a little trouble getting the ball out of his glove, hesitated, and Escobar advanced to third now. On that one, it was 1-4 to 35. Yeah, so in this case, runners advance. All right. Oh, but that was the last. No, that was the second out. So a runner on third now. Jacob Degrom versus Eric Hosmer. Here's a pitch. 3-4, and that's going to be a 57, and then a 4 is a 58. A 358, and that's going to be a potential rare play. The way I play it is if there's a blue is even, it's a rare play. So we're going to bring out the rare play booklet, which is a gorgeous booklet, by the way. And there's 2 outs with a runner on third. So that could be a very strange play, because that doesn't happen very much. So now we have to roll again. And that's a 7. It says 7 with 2 outs, soft liner to short center. Batter sends a soft liner to short center. Roll 1 die against center fielder's range. Well, use the blue. Where is it? It was a 7, right? Yeah. Okay, roll 1 die against the fielder's defense. If the die is higher, ball falls in. If the die is not higher, center fielder makes a sliding catch to retire the batter. You can subtract 1 from the defense rating of the visitor. And I did that as well, and he still makes a nice sliding catch. Juan Lagares, beautiful catch in center, saving a run. So defense makes a difference, boys. And that retires the side. And Degrom gives Lagares a big pat on the back as they walk into the dugout. And Lucas Duda now against Johnny Cueto. Let's get this straightened out a little bit here. All right, 6-6, and that's an 11. And then a 6-5 is a 14. That's a deep drive off the bat of Duda. Back goes Rios to the track, to the wall. That's out of here. Mets take a 1-0 lead. On a solo shot by Lucas Duda. And just like that, Mets are up. Travis d'Arnaud, 6-5. That's a 36. 39, and that's a strikeout. So Cueto comes back. Reaches back for a little extra and blows one by Travis d'Arnaud. Next is 5-6, and a 5-6 is a 3. And a 5-5, that's a 6. A 5-6, that's ball 4. So Conforto manages a base on balls, trots down to first. And with 1 out, 1 on, it's Wilmer Flores. And a 2-2 is an 11. And a 2-6 is a 14. A 2-14, and that's line drive, base hit, center field. Runner's going to advance 1 base. First and second for the pitcher. And we never pulled a card for Degrom, who is – oh, we don't need that because we don't have a pitch. Not the pitcher. It's hold on a second. Lagares is up now. There's no pitcher batting in this game. All right, so Juan Lagares now with first and second, only 1 out. Here's the pitch to Lagares. It's a 4-1. This is usually a fielding column result of some kind. So that's an 11. And then a 3 is going to be a third baseman. And the third baseman from memory, I don't have memorized. I didn't write it down. Moustakas is a 242. So that's going to be a potential error on Moustakas. And we're going to roll. And it's going to be a ground ball to the third baseman. He bobbles it, and everybody is safe. E5, bases are loaded. Everybody moves up 1. And that's an E flashed on the scoreboard here. So it's an error on the Royals. Moustakas, Moose. And now the infield's going to be in against Curtis Granderson. That's a 56, and that's a 5. And then a 66 is a 9. A 5-9 is ball 4. And that's going to force in a run. RBI walk for Curtis Granderson. Infield's in, bases are loaded, 2-0 Mets. And they drive Cueto from the game. It's a 2-3, and that's a 1. And then a 2-1's a strikeout. Second time, Cueto gets Wright on a K. And on the same pitch, in the same location. Daniel Murphy against Johnny Cueto. Bases loaded, infield back. That's a 3-5. That's a shaded. That's a shaded area, so we're going to have to check the ballpark card. That's a 3-6. That's a 4. And now we're going to roll 1 die for that shaded area, see what happens. And it's going to be a 2. He's a lefty. left the Kauffman Stadium on a three column. It's down here. It's going to be a number 3, and it was a 3-5, and that's the 6 would be a 3-6 would be a 4, and a 3 is a 7 in column 2, and that is popped up. Second baseman in foul territory, Zobrist makes the catch, and that retires the side. But the Mets pick up a run on, actually 2 runs on 2 hits and 2 walks and an error. Bottom of the second, 2-0 Mets. Degrom versus Kendry Morales, switch hitter. Switch hitter Kendry Morales. Oh, that's not what we're doing here. Wait a second. Sorry. Try that again. 1-5. 1-5 is a 4, and a 1-1 is strike 3. Kendry gets blown away by the Degrom high cheese, the cheese sandwich. 1 up, 1 down in the bottom of the second. It's a 6-1. That's a 16, and then a 6-3 is an 18, and that is a fly ball lifted to left over his Cespedes, and he squeezes it for the out. Jacob Degrom to Salvador Perez. It's a 4-4. That's an 11, and a 4-1. It's the first baseman. They're usually a 2, a 13 will require us to roll. And that's a 4, so a 22. So that's going to be a ground ball that is handled easily by Duda, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits. Johnny Cueto versus Yoenis Cespedes, who grounded out. It's a 3-2 and 11, and a 3-3 is a 13-3, and that's line and caught by the shortstop. Escobar, L6. Duda now. It's a 2-5, and that's a 4. And a 2-1 is a strikeout. Duda down swinging. Revenge for Cueto. Duda homered in his first at bat today. Now it's Travis d'Arnaud. That's a 1-4. That's a 35. And a 1-2 is a 37. 137, and that is grounded to second. Ben Zobrist up, whips it to first. Hosmer scoops it, and that retires the side. Go to bottom of the third. We're moving along nicely here with replay baseball. This is a blast. Their PC game is the best, bar none, in terms of just the platform that it's on. Very, very well constructed. Very easy to play. Very easy to use. You can try it out for free for as long as you need to, really. It gives you about 30 games for free, and you can take a year to do those 30 games like I did. Alex Gordon, here goes. That's a 2-4. It's a 16. And then a 2-3 is a 17 under a 2, and that's a strikeout. 1 up, 1 down again. So DeGrom's retired how many in a row? He's retired 7 in a row. Now it's going to be Alex Rios. That's a 3-2. That's a 29. And a 3-1 is a 30, a 330, and that is line to left field. And Cespedes is right there for the putout. 2 up, 2 down. Top of the order. And that's a 12, which is a 1-2. It's a 2, and then another 2, and that's a strikeout. And that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down again. So that's 9 in a row retired by Degrom after the leadoff double by Escobar. Top of the fourth. Michael Conforto. Johnny Cueto. And that's a 4-2, and that is a 3. And then a 4-3 is going to be the third baseman. Third baseman, Moustakas, is a 2. That's a ground ball handled by Moustakas over to first and in time to get Conforto. 1 up, 1 down. That's a 4 again. This time it's a 5. It's a 1. And then a 5-5 shortstop, and that is a ball that's up the middle. After it is Escobar gets there, fires to first, and just gets Flores hustling down the line Flores doesn't really have that kind of speed, but he really turned it up. That's a 1-2, and that's going to be a strikeout, and that retires. The side ends inning number 4, and after 3.5, Mets 2, Royals nothing. This is elimination. The Royals have their backs up against the wall. Degrom has retired 9 in a row. Ben Zobrist. That's a 6-3, and that's a 31. 31. It's a 33. 633, and that's popped up second base. Right there is the Murph. Number 28 makes the catch. And it's a 3-4, and that's going to be a 30. And then a 3-3 is a 31. A 3-31. That's line to left field. Cespedes is there. Makes the catch. 2 out. And it's Hosmer. It's a 5-1. And that's a 5. And then a 5-2 is a 6. And that's ball 4. So Hosmer walks with 2 outs. Kendry Morales. 1-1. That's a 10. And then a 1-6, it's an 11, a 1-11. That's a little ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. And going to third is going to be Hosmer. First and third now, so the Royals have a little bit of a 2-out rally here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Mike Moustakas. Here's the pitch to Moustakas. And it's a 1-4, that's a 35, and then a 1-1 is a 36, a 136. And that is grounded to third base. Nice play by Wright over to first, and that retires the side. No hits. No runs, 1 hit. And we go top of the 5th. 2-0 Mets. Curtis Granderson. He was walked twice and driven in a run. I'd say Snake Eyes, it's a 1. Then a 1-4 is a strikeout. Next is David Wright. David Wright is struck out twice. And that's a 2-5, a 4. And a 2-3 is a strikeout. 3 Ks. So Wright is 1 away from the golden sombrero. And it's Murphy now. With a 1-4, that's a 35. And a 1-5, a 37. 137, that's ground to second base. Zobrist up with it, over to first, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. Go to the bottom of the 5th. Salvador Perez. Here goes. It's a 5-6, a 27. And then a 5-1 is a 28, a 5-28, and that is a fly out in the gap. On the run is who's in right field today? Granderson, and runs it down. Nice play by Granderson, who got a great jump on that ball. Next is Alex Gordon, who struck out earlier. That's a 5-2. It's a 5-2. It's a 32, and then a 5-5 is a 34, 5-34, and that is a strikeout. And how many strikeouts is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeouts for Degrom. He now faces Alex Rios, who lined out to the left fielder earlier. That's a Snake Eyes. It's a 20. And then a 1-4 is a 21, 121, and that is line base hit. It could be an error. It's going to be on the center, potentially on the center fielder. It's a very low number, so it won't be an error. So cut off by Lagares, gets it in, holding Rios to a single. Alcides Escobar now. Here's the pitch. That's a 3-1 is a 4. And then a 3-4 is a 5, a 3-5, and that's a short fly left field. Racing in is Cespedes, and he gets there. No runs, 1 hit. We go to top of the 6th. Two nothing Mets. Yoenis Cespedes, grounded out, lined out. 1-5, that's a 1, that's a strikeout. Curveball gets Cespedes. Start having to look at some numbers now. Degrom can go up to 24, which would be 18, 19, 20, 20, 21, 22. Wait, yeah. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And then Cueto can go 26. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. If I don't do this sort of thing, I'll forget. I'll get in the game. A lot of stuff will be happening. I'll be thinking about other things. So I really have to make it clear that that's as far as they can go. All right. So Lucas Duda. Duda's got a homer and a strikeout. That's a 3-3, and that's a 32, a 34, a 334, and that's going to be pulled down the line into the right field corner. After it is Rios around first and heading towards second. Here's the throw, and not in time. 1 out double for Lucas Duda. Here's a pitch to Travis d'Arnaud. That's going to be a 42, and that's an 11. And a 4 is a shortstop result. So we got to look at the shortstop number. That's a 254. So what did I say? I think I said it was an 11. Yeah, an 11 and a 2. And we're going to test. We're going to check for error, and it's not an error. So it's a ball that. And then we have to make sure. So it's a ground ball. Runner on third holds. Runners advance. Hold on a second. Ground out at first. Runners advance 1 base. Runner on second holds. So he's going to look Duda back to second, and it's Travis d'Arnaud. Now it's Michael Conforto. That was Travis d'Arnaud who grounded out. Michael Conforto, 6'2", and that is against a righty. That's going to be a shaded area, so we're going to have to save that. So it's a column 6. This is big, shaded area, so we're going to actually roll that. And it's going to be a 5, which is a 3. So there's an opportunity for Conforto to get a hold of one here and drive it. So let's roll that 1 and see what happens. We're looking at the Kauffman Stadium card. He's a lefty. And a 3 is an 8. An 8 and a 3 is an 11. And that's going to be line base hit right field. With a runner on second, 2 outs, runners advance 2 bases. Around to score is Duda. And the Mets lead it now 3-0. It's an RBI single. And they don't throw home because there's 2 outs, runners advance 2 bases. All right. So this is Johnny Cueto pitching to his last batter. Unless I have to change up and I have to use a different column. So it's going to be Wilmer Flores. And here's the pitch. It's going to be 3-4, and that's a 57. 57 and 3-2 is going to be a 59, a 359. And that says potential rare play, but with a 2, it will not be. Even use play result 53 or 57. This is interesting. A dribbler towards the mound. Roll 1 die against the runner's speed. If the die is higher, he is out. Runner's speed is a 2, so it's not going to be hard to beat a 2, and he is out at first. It's a 1-3 put out. And that, my friends, retires the side. But the Mets pick up 1 big run on 2 big hits. They lead at 3-0. This is a great game. This is a game that I believe it's a little underappreciated, a little undernoticed, a little underplayed. There are people who are very hardcore replay fans. All right, so it's Ben Zobrist against Jacob Degrom. Let's get this out of the shade. It's going to be a 3-3. That's a 32. 33, 333, and that's going to be a line out center field. Right there is Lagares for out number 1. Next is Lorenzo Cain. The pitch to Lorenzo, 2-6. That's going to be a 60. It's going to be a 60, and that's going to be a line drive in the gap. After it is Lagares. I'll tell you right now, that's what it's going to be. And then it's a 2-4. So it's going to be a 61. 61, yep. And Lagares makes a diving play, goes airborne, and makes the catch in center field. If outfielder's defense rating is higher than the Rays number, which is a 2, he makes the catch. Wait a second. Oh, I may have to roll on that. Hold on a second, Cowboys. Oh, yeah, 2-4. I'm going to have to roll on that. On the 2. So no, hold on. That changes the whole situation. So we're looking for column 2 now. So let's roll a separate die so we don't forget what we have there. And that's going to be a 6, so that's going to be a 5. A 5 result. Let's move that away. And it was a 2-6. We're re-rolling that. A 2-4, which is a 1, and that's strikeout. That retires the side. No runs, no hits. Fascinating. Fascinating game. I'm just happy because the Mets are winning. If the Mets were losing, I'd be like totally depressed and be like, this game sucks. All right. Juan Lagares. No, that's not true. All right. Juan Lagares leading it off. Now, Johnny Cueto has to use his B grade, but he's gone. We're going to try to get one more inning out of Cueto because he's basically their ace. So we're going to try to get one more inning out of Cueto. Let's try to do that. Let's use the B. All right, it's a 3-1. It's a 4. And then the 3 column, it's a 9, a 3-9, and that's line base hit. And that's going to be it for Cueto because that's probably what's going to happen if I don't pull Cueto. So Granderson comes up, and we're going to get a lefty. It's going to be Duffy. Danny Duffy, the lefty. And Duffy has a shaded card. That means versus lefties, he uses the top row. This is when I first saw this, I didn't even know what the heck was going on. But once you see it again and again and again, you're like, oh, yeah, it makes perfect sense. So that's why I'm really into the learning aspect of learning these new game systems, and I find something great about like every single one. So Danny Duffy's coming in. And Cueto went 6 innings. And it's going to be Curtis Granderson. Here's the pitch. That's a 51. That's a 5. And then a 51 again in the shaded area is a 5, is a 6, 5, 6, and that is base on balls. With runner on first only, and there's only a runner on face, 2 balls. Okay. Here's a pitch. 2-0 the count. 1-4. That's a 3. And then a 1-2 is a 5, and that's a strikeout. So second time Granderson Ks. And now it's going to be David Wright with a runner on first. Here's the pitch. And it's a 2-1. That's a 21. And then a 2-3 is a 3. So that's going to be a 24, 224, and that is ground ball. Oh, a little nubber in front of the plate. Perez fires to first, and Lagares moves to second. And 0 for 3. That brings up Daniel Murphy, who's 0 for 3. Here's a pitch to Murph. It's a 56 this time. It's a 45. 45, and he's a lefty. 45 is a, let's slow down, is a 1, 5-1. It's a 46. So it's a 5-46, and that's going to say fly ball center field. With bases empty, scores a fly out. With men on base, check the M of the action chart. Okay, that's cool. So we're going to roll for the M chart, see what happens here. That's a 4-4. That's an 8. Potential wild pitch. If the blue die is higher than the pitcher's rating, all runners advance. Pitcher's rating is a 0, so that's going to be a wild pitch. So that's going to move Lagares to third on the wild pitch, and we're going to write that in for Duffy. Murphy's still up. Here's the pitch. It's a 5-3. That's a 3. And then a 5-6. It's a 4. That's a 7. That is going to be a base on balls. With runners on first only or bases full, count as, it's a walk. And now it's going to be Cespedes. We're going to make a pitching change. We don't want a lefty specialist. We're going to bring in, who are we going to bring in? Ryan Madsen. We're bringing Ryan Madsen. So Madsen comes in after .2 for Duffy, and he allowed a walk. No hits. No hit by pitch. 1 strikeout. All right, Ryan Madsen. Madsen was had 1 and 2 with a 2.14 ERA. Wow. All right, so it's going to be Cespedes with runners on first and second. So he's got good power. Here's the pitch. That's a 2-5. That's a 5. And a 2-1. That's a 6. Strike 3, and that retires the side. So it's no runs on 1 hit. Bottom of the 7th. 3-0 Metropolitans. Amazons. All right, Eric Hosmer. Now, Degrom could go a couple more batters. So we're going to try to get him through this inning. Here goes. Snake Eyes. That's a 15, 16, 116. Line, base hit. Could be an error on the left fielder. Let's see what kind of a number it is. It will not be. So it's a single for Hosmer. Oh, that was Morales. Hold on a second. Oh, Cowboy. Wait a second. I won't remember what all that was at all. I went really fast. It ended up being a 21, I believe. So I'm going to have to re-roll Kendry Morales at bat. Sorry. No guarantee it would have been a hit anyway. 31. That's a 31. And then a 3-3 is a 32. A 3-32, and that's a fly ball right field. Not going to lose sleep over that at all. That's how the ball bounces in baseball. All right, here goes. It's a 5-4. 5-4 is a 1H. A 1H, this is Musakas. A 5-4 is a 1H, a 1. And then a 5-6 is a 4. And a 5-4 is going to be a ground ball to shortstop. Flores fires to first. High throw. Nice stretch by Duda. And they get Moose for 2 outs. This is where I got to use the B grade. So we got to remember that it's a 1-1, it's a 10. And then a 1 is a 10, it's a 12 on a 1. And that's going to be a little ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. On at first is Perez. One more batter using the B. That's a 5-2. That's a 32. Uh-oh. This is trouble. A 32. And then a, oh, look at that. And then we got to use the 2 down here. Well, no, we use the 2. And that's a 32, a 34, and a 5-34. And that ball is strike 3. Wow. And we'll double check that. 5-2. Then the 2 and the 5. That's a 34 and the 5. And that's a fastball that Degrom blows by Gordon, and that retires the side. No runs. 1 hit. We go to top of the 8th. All right. Ryan Madsen's still in there. That was the 7th he came in, so he can go still another inning. Okay. Cueto. No, what is that? What's going on here? Hold on a second. Duda. That's a 3-2, and that's a 2. And a 3-2 again is a 3. A 3-3 is a dribbler right in front of the plate. And that is Perez over to first in time. 1 up, 1 down. Madsen to Darno. It's a 5-3, and it's a 5. It's a 6. And let's see if it's a 2. Roll 1 die. If the die is higher, it's not. So it's not going to be. And it's if the die is higher, then the number scores a base on ball. If not, count as 2 balls. So we'll roll again for Darno. Yeah, it's a 6-5, and it's a 36. 36, 39, and that is a strikeout. Darno down swinging. 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Mets are up 3-0, game 6, elimination game for the Royals. 6-6 to Conforto against a righty is an 11. And then a 6-1 is a 1. That's a 12, and that's a deep drive, right field. Back goes Rios to the wall, and that's gone. Michael Conforto puts one out of here to give the Mets a 4-0 lead. Solo shot for Conforto. I believe that's his third of the series. And we'll double check that. It's an 11 because he's a righty. That's the split number. It's an 11, and that's a 6-1. It's a 12, and that ball's gone. I don't play the option there. There's a little option that you can play. I don't play that. Not now. I'm learning the game. All right, so Wilmer Flores. Later on, maybe I'll play it. 3-6. That's a 42, and a 3-5 is a 44 under 3, and a 44 is line drive against a right-handed pitcher. Leaping grab by the shortstop, Alcides Escobar, and that, my friend, retires a side. But the Mets pick up one run on one hit, the home run. They lead at 4-0. All right, we're going to have a new pitcher for the Mets. It's going to be Reed, Addison Reed. And he's going to be facing Rios, and then the top of the order. Get that out of the shade. Let's put him in there. And we'll write that in here. So Jacob Degrom pitched an excellent game. And there's probably some sort of option to allow him, since he was pitching a shutout, to allow him to go a little bit farther. Let's see. He gave up a hit there. Another hit here. Another hit there. 4 hits. 4 hits in 7 innings. He walked 1. Wow. And how many strike out? Strike out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Amazing. So 4 hits. No. Oh, that's the wrong place. 4 hits. No runs. 1 walk. 6 strikeouts. So he stands. Degrom stands to win it. Here's the pitch from Addison Reed. It's a 3-6. That's a 42. And a 3-1 is a 44. A 3-44, and that is against a right-handed pitcher, line and caught by the shortstop, Flores. L6. Escobar. That's a 5-6. That's a 1. A 5 is a 5, and that is a ground ball to the third baseman. Wright up with it, fires to first, and oh, they just get Escobar by half a step. Ben Zobrist with 2 outs. So 1-4, that's a 35, 37. So it's a 137, and that is a ground ball. Second base, Murph. Over to first, 3 up, 3 down. We got a new pitcher now for the Royals here in the top of the 9th. 4-0 Mets. Lagares leading us off. Wade Davis is coming in. So Wade Davis will pitch to Lagares, Granderson, and Wright. Here in the top of the 9th, the Mets are up 4-0. This is elimination. The Royals have their backs against the wall. It's a 5-1. That's a 4. And a 5-5. A lot of letters. There's a letter there and there's a letter here. A D and a K. That's one thing that turned me off when I started playing this game. All right. So that's a 5-1 because that throws your brain off. 5-1 is a 4. And then a 5-5 is a 4. That's an 8 total. 8 on number 5 is a base on balls. So Lagares walks. But now we got the K. The K is only if pitch has a K, any out would be a strikeout. Yeah, I don't have to worry about that. The next one, the D, I do have to worry about because Lagares may try to steal here. So let's roll. See what Lagares does. That's a 6. It says a plus. It says stolen base, caught stealing. If blue die is higher than the catcher's defense rating, it is a stolen base. So it's got to be higher. We roll the 5. That's pretty high. But Salvador Perez is pretty good catcher. He's got a great arm, and he's got a 5 defense rating. So he guns him. He throws one down there to second base and guns out Juan Lagares. It's going to be 2-6. Caught stealing. It's all right with 4 runs down. No problem. Here goes. Curtis Granderson. Wade Davis, 2-1. It's a 43. Holy smokes. 43. And then a 2-6 is a 44. 244 with a 4, but that's not for something else. 244 is a grounded comebacker to Davis over to first and in time. And then Wright. It's a 1-1. It's a 10. And then a 1-3 is an 11. A 1-11. That's a little ground ball and through for a base hit. So Wright is on at first with 2 outs. 4-0 Mets. Top of the 9th. It's going to be a 1-2. That's a 35. And a 1-3 is a 36. 136, and that is grounded to the third baseman. Over to first. Moustakas to Hosmer, and that retires the side. Watched a great movie last night called Walking Tall, the classic Walking Tall. Buford Pusser was the guy's name. An actual sheriff in Tennessee. All right, so you got to watch that. It's free on if you have Prime. Lorenzo, well, not free. You pay $15 a month. So there's nothing that Amazon does is free, but they like throwing that word around a lot. All right, here it is. We're going to bring in a new pitcher for the Mets, and it's going to be Jerry Familia. He's the closer for the Mets, and he should be out there if the Mets can hold on. 66. That's going to be a roll. That's going to be a roll. We're rolling this one on the blah, blah, blah column. He's a right-handed hitter. That's the bottom column. We roll what? A 3. That's an 8. An 8 and a 2, a 10. That's line base hit. So Lorenzo Cain starts off the bottom of the 9th with a single, and he's on at first. Now it's Hosmer. Here's the pitch from Familia. That's a 3-6, 47. And a 3-3 is a 48, 348, and that is a line drive caught. No, base hit, drops in there. And runners can advance 2 bases. So over to third goes Cain. It's 4-0 Mets, and the tying run is on deck now for the Royals. Not over till it's over, folks. Not over till it's over. Kendry Morales, he's batting lefty. That's a 3-6. That's a 62. And a 3-4 is a 63. A 363, and that is line drive, base hit, single. And that's going to score a run. And going to third is Hosmer. First and third now. Tying run is at the plate. Still nobody out. Holy smokes. Jerry Familia. A rude welcome for Jerry Familia, who is the Mets closer. All right, so it's 4-1 now. No runs, 1 hit. 4-1. And there's runners on first and third. Mike Moustakas with good power. Hit 22 home runs. Here's the pitch from Familia. That's a 43. 43 is a 2. And now the 4 is going to be a shortstop. Uh-oh. And the Mets don't have the greatest shortstop in the world. Flores is a 344. See what happens. So it's a 4-3. It's a 2. Oh, no, it's going to be okay. And he's a 3, so that's a 5. A 5 in column with the infield halfway because there's a runner on first is going to be a little ground ball to the shortstop, and he tosses it to Murphy. The relay to first in time. A run scores, but the Mets turn a huge 6-4-3 double play. 4-2. Nobody on. 2 outs. Salvador Perez against Jerry Familia. The Mets are 1 out away from rewriting history and winning their 3rd World Series, 69-86. And it's about to be, if they can get this last out, it's about to be their 3rd, 2015, the way it should have been. That's a 64. A 64 is a 60. Then a 62. It's going to be a potential error situation here. That's interesting. Another interesting little turn of events. So a 64 is a 60. And then the shortstop is a 3. So it's a 63 in column 4. No, in column 6. No, in column 4. 63 in column 4. There is no 63 in column 4. This may be, oh boy, last play of the game. This had to happen. That's usually, and I'm not going to find this. I'm not going to find this. There's no way I'm going to find this. So a 60, I'm going to have to, you know what? I'm just going to, what could it be? It's the same way that these are, but these are in column 4. I can't look at that high a number, a 60, and then a 3, a 63. It would have to be in column 6. And if it's in column 6, it's going to be a double in the corner. And runners advance 2 bases. That's the, and then I don't know if there's a possibility of an error. This is a tough one. Wow, and this is such an important game. I mean, this is not like I can be like, it doesn't matter. I mean, this could be the difference between winning the World Series and not winning the World Series. Let me see what it says about fielding. Hold on here. They have a pretty good stop that. They have a pretty good let's see. Let's see if I can find pitcher fielding. Pitcher fielding. Let's see. Replay, exceptions, relievers, early, complete. They got to stop adding things to this game. Unless this means you re-roll the number, but then that doesn't make sense either. That doesn't make sense because it's shaded. Shaded usually means it's a fielding play, but it can't be on the 4 column. Can't be on the 4 column unless this whole thing takes you to the 4 column and you read everything on the 4 column. So it becomes the 4 column. And then when it would be an 11 and a 3 is a 14. Okay, that's what happens. All right, okay. That makes the most sense to me. That's the way I'm going to play it. It's a 14. We're going to roll for an error on Wilmer Flores. And it is a 41, and he's a 44. No, Wilmer makes the play. Throw to first in time, and the ball game is over. I'm pretty sure I played that right. And otherwise, the Mets win it. Otherwise, we're going to have to come back, and the commission will say, replay that last out. But for now, the Mets have won the World Series. They're champions of baseball, my friends, here in Kansas City at Kauffman Stadium, and it's quiet except for a few screaming diehard Mets fans who traveled along with the team. And that's 3 hits, 2 runs on 3 hits in the final score. The Mets 4 and the Royals 2. And let's fill in some of the action. That was 1, 2, 3. It was 7 hits altogether for the Royals. Royals had 1 hit, 1 error. And for the Mets, let's see how many hits the Mets had. 1 there. Another 1 here. 2 more. That's 5. 6. 7. 7 hits for the Mets. And the Mets, I don't think, committed any errors. They did not. So the line scores, Mets, 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The Royals, it's like a 6. 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. The Mets win it by a score of 4-2. The victory is going to go to Degrom. Reed went 1 inning. Retired all 3 batters he faced. And then it was Familia, who struggled, faced 5 batters. Went 1 inning, gave up 3 hits and 2 runs. No walk. No strikeouts, no hit by pitch, no wild pitches. It was 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 batters faced by Degrom. And then it was Matson there at the end for an inning. 1.1 for, it was, let's see who finished it off. Wade Davis. He went 1 inning. Gave up a walk and a hit. Pitched to 4 batters. And Matson went 1.1, struck out 2, and gave up a home run. He pitched to 5 batters. And that was Johnny Cueto. Johnny Cueto went 6-4 earned runs. Gave up no earned runs in that last inning of work that he did give up runs though. He gave up 3 runs. So 3 runs for Cueto. Duffy came in and went Duffy came in 1.2. Gave up a walk. Okay. No runs there. And that's going to be 8-9. That's it. So let's see if there was any walks for Cueto. Gave up a couple of walks there. Another walk, 3 walks. And see any strikeouts Cueto gave up. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 8 strikeouts for Johnny Cueto. 3 walks. No hit by pitch. Batters faced. Cueto faced 18 and 8. 18 and 8, 26, 27. And then Duffy pitched to 3 batters. And that's it. The loss is going to go to Cueto. And that's the ball game, folks. That is the ball game. Oh, 1 more walk down there. That was by somebody else, though. And another strikeout. A couple of strikeouts. These are different pitchers. I already put those in. I like to make these stand out. The Mets win it by a score of 4-2. The 9th inning was exciting and complicated for me. I'm not a long-time replay baseball player, but it's what makes the most sense. I think about it for a while, and then I kind of say, well, this makes the most sense. It probably tells you to go to column 4 with both rolls, not using one roll from column 6, because that there was no result like that. So how could I do that? Infield was actually halfway on that result. So I don't think it didn't matter because it was a ball that was below the error rating of Flores. So he got to that ball. It was a 41, I believe. Yeah. And he's a 44. So he just made that play, bobbled it a bit, threw it, and the call at first was out. And after being reviewed, he was out at first. Ball game over. The Mets win the World Series. And I hope you enjoyed it. Mets won it all. Let's do it, Mets. Let's go, Mets. And we will check at a couple of friends about that particular, if I played that right. And if I did, I'm very excited. I just picked up 2 sets of replay baseball because I want to replay the 2004 playoffs between the Yankees and the Red Sox. There's no way the Yankees should lose that. And I also wanted to play the 2000 Mets versus Yankees World Series as well because the Mets should win a couple of games, hopefully. So this is CP Cards and Dice saying thanks for watching Game 6, our final game of this great fun replay using Replay Baseball. I'm moving on to a new game. I'm not sure what's on my schedule. It may be History Maker Baseball. And then that's it. Then we go to Payoff Pitch, and we go to Inside Pitch, and so on and so forth. This is CP Cards and Dice saying thanks. Take care. Mets win it. And you can see it there. They win it by a score of 4-2.